also known as the bubonic plague. What is the bubonic plague? It is a pathogen, so it's a disease that is caused due to bacteria. It is theorized that rat fleas, after sucking the blood off of rats, pass the bacteria onto humans. Even before the plague hit, many Europeans had heard rumors about a great sickness that was spreading like wildfire, and in the early 1340s, the disease already had struck China, India, Persia, Syria, and Egypt. The plague decimated and killed around 25 to 30 million people in Europe, and with their current level of knowledge and medicine, it was unstoppable. A few factors that might have made it worse was them not understanding how pathogens transferred from person to person, or of people uneducated or people called healers doing such things as popping boils, which could release and spread more of the deadly bacteria. The plague did not just affect humans, but also livestock, limiting the amount of food accessible to people. Symptoms. Here are some symptoms. Buboes are the swelling on the skin, usually around the groin, armpit, or neck, and they are tender to touch. On average, it's about the size of a chicken egg or a golf ball, but some extreme cases, it can swell up to the size of a water balloon. Patients also have their hands, fingers, and noses blackened. This is due to internal bleeding and dying of the flesh. People have also experienced constant seizures, vomiting and coughing up blood, fever, chills, and abdominal pain. How did it spread? Some factors on why this disease spread so wide and fast was because trade routes. Evidence shows that the plague spread correlates almost exactly with trade routes, and this might be caused by rats on ships. Also, poor hygiene. People not washing themselves regularly. If they did, they could have slowed down the spread by cleansing themselves from the fleas. They also didn't know that it came from fleas that sucked off blood from rats. The population was declining so rapidly that people were either buried in mass graves or left dead in their homes. Some people were too scared to move the dead bodies in fear of catching the disease.
How did it affect Europe? There were many things, but trade is one of the big ones that was suffering and it was halted. Wars were temporarily abandoned and many people died, which also affected landowners. It would take about 200 years for the population of Europe to recover to the level seen prior to the Black Death. The population of Europe would not return to pre-1747 CE levels until around 1550 CE. Although it hit some places more than others, yet sometimes it hit entire cities. The social structure of society broke down. Small urban areas were abandoned, and Jews were blamed for the spread of the Black Death and kill. Why was the Black Death so important? The Black Death killed so many people. This was significant because it gave a personification to the Black Death as the Grim Reaper in order for people to understand it more. Yet many thought this was a punishment from God or something from the devil. The top things that the Black Death affected was agriculture, religion, economics, and even social class were affected. After the Black Death, women in particular gained some rights of property ownership they had not had before the plague. At the end, the Black Death contributed in accelerating the factor in changes that occurred in society as the Middle Ages came to a close.